Hello everyone, my name is Boston. I am a Reiki master and essential oil educator, and today I'm going to be talking to you about how to find your way in this chaotic world, how to find your own way, one that resonates with you and what you believe in. So there is 3 steps in this process. I made it very clear. So the first step in this process is to clear the outside noise. When you have all that inside or the outside external things telling you what you should do, what you should be doing with your life, what's going on, that makes you to where you can't think straight. And then you kind of start to confuse what your world that's going on. You start to kind of confuse that with what's going on in everyone else's world. And so, people who live in a fear-driven world, you might start to align your world with maybe their world. So really figuring out, taking a break from the shoulds of the world, from your phone, from the TV, from the news, even from your friends and family. Sometimes everyone has their own opinion, and it's really great to listen to each other, but we want to make sure that we take a break from the outside world. So we don't take other people's energy on, because sometimes especially if you're really sensitive, you can take other people's energy on and think that energy is your energy, and it may not necessarily be. The second step in this protocol is to find your own internal compass. Find out what your internal compass looks like. Figure out what you want to do. Be really clear about who you are, what you believe in, what you stand for, and what you want to achieve with your life. Get really clear about that, because when you get really clear, when you figure out who you are, that allows you to make decisions based off of what you want, maybe not off of what your family wants or what your friends want or what the world wants of you. Figure out who you are, what you truly want. You got to get crystal clear about that. And the only way you can get crystal clear about that is by, taking a break from the outside world and then going within. That may be different for everyone. So some people like to meditate, and some people do better with sitting and meditating, and other people do better with walking and meditating. If you have a hard time meditating, you can go on a walk while you're doing that. That's just to help really figure out and go through the thoughts that are running through your head. So, what's in there. What your brain and your mind is focusing your attention on, so you can figure out what you believe in. When you figure out what you believe in, then you can adjust or pivot away from things that may not necessarily be aligned with what you really want. And then you can get crystal clear about what you do want. So that is step number 2. And then step number 3 is to solidify your internal compass by creating an anchor. So I talked a little bit about that in another video. If you want to know more about anchors, you can go through my videos and watch that one. So solidify your internal compass by creating anchors. An anchor is a place or a space where you can consistently return to and connect with your internal compass. Once you figure out who you are, once you figure out what the internal compass is, this anchor is something that's going to be a place where you can revisit the compass or your internal compass. Because when the world starts swaying you one way or another, when people have opinions and start swaying you one way to another, it's really easy to let that wave knock you over. And if you have an anchor, you may go 1 or 2 steps, or a couple over to the side a little bit in your boat, but the anchor is going to hold you to where you are, help you hold you down to what you truly want and what you truly believe in and who you really are. And so consistency matters in that. So consistency solidifies that anchor and makes it a habit. When you make something a habit, that makes it easier to let the unsureness or the doubts or the worries or the stress that can sway you away, that the consistency of returning to that anchor will help to really set that in. And then, you'll become more confident about what you want. You'll be more confident and ingrained in your own purpose. And so, when the world sways you, like I said, you can return to that anchor. And if, let's say, for instance, someone wants to, gives you an opportunity, you can return to the anchor, return to your internal compass, and see if it's a match. Sometimes we need to replant and move our anchors, but sometimes things may not necessarily align with that. So you can definitely be definite and sure and crystal clear if that's a match or not. So the thing that I like to do is I like to go on these meditation journeys. I actually perform them, but I go on them myself with a shaman. And I do these every other Sunday, and I have these different topics that we talk about or that we go through, and we figure out what our internal compass wants from these different topics. So like next week, for instance, it's self-worth. And so when we create our internal compass, we can figure out where we're at. We can clear the outside noise. We can figure out where we're at. We can figure out what is a match. We can figure out what aligns with our internal compass. And the idea of these journeys every other week is so that they are a space that we can continually return to our internal compass in. And so I've actually created that space. There's a lot of lovely people signed up for these, and it's been a really magical thing, because when we can return to our anchor, we have that space, we can feel safe and secure in who we are. So these are the 3 steps on how to find your way in the chaotic world. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and if you have any questions, just drop them down in the comments. If you need a little help with your own journey and figuring out, these steps for yourself, we can do a one-on-one call, and we can really narrow down what you want, and what's blocking you, and what your next action steps are. So just feel free to message me if that's something that you'd like to do. I hope you guys have a wonderful day, and I hope, I love you all. I love you all. Namaste, friends.